And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's Rowdy pre-race show. My name is Bass Masters. This is Buzz Cutler. Are you not?
I am. Two glasses day.
Yeah, that's right, because we got to be real smart today as we break down Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile for Sunday's FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speaks. Did I get that right?
God, these race names are just getting more and more ridiculous.
But that's still a cool thing, to benefit Autism Speaks.
Well, sure, but that doesn't mean you have to come up with some schlocky sort of...
It's not schlocky.
Okay.
It's not schlocky.
Just proceed.
Let's talk about Dover, the Monster Mile, because the key to this racetrack, Cutler,
There's so many.
Well, how aggressive can you be in the corner? You know, you talk about a lot of racetracks, and you say, oh, you got to kind of wait on the car to turn, or you don't want to drive it in too hard, or you got to back up the apex. At Dover, there's none of that crap. It's like drive in there that corner as hard as you can, just bark the gas for a second, get right back in it.
But getting
aggressive driving is the key. You have to have a car that handles so you can be very aggressive.
See, that's the key to your key, is you got to have a car that handles, because when you drop out of that corner, you're dropping something like 87 stories when you hit the bottom.
87 stories or 87 feet?
87 stories,
that's
man.
A long
it's
way.
Like hundreds of feet. And so when you hit that bottom, you need to have the confidence to get back into the throttle right away. And if you're in any way loose, if your car isn't dialed in, that's going to be tough just to jump right back in the gas.
Absolutely. You talk about handling, allowing a driver allowing a driver to be aggressive. Here's Jeff Burton on that very subject.
It's so fast. You have to be in the throttle so much. You really feel like you're using the tires every lap. But if you don't do that, you're not running fast enough. So it's a balance between being, being tight enough to make good lap time. But if you get too tight, it just kills the right front tires.
All right, so we talk about a very aggressive racetrack. This is also a track where you can take some hard hits, Buzz Cutler.
Kevin Harvick was saying on his media availability this morning, if you're not dialed in, you're in the way. There's no place to hide here. Wrecks happen. They take out a lot of cars. This is a self-cleaning racetrack. If you're on the bottom and something happens above you, you're toast.
And the thing is, it happens a lot of times coming out of the corner and onto the straightaway. The straightaways at Dover are banked at 9 degrees. You talk about everything funneling to the bottom of the racetrack. That's why. The straightaways are very, very narrow. So if you have spin there, you're probably going to hit something. You're going very fast. You're probably going to hit something hard. There's not a lot of room in there, and then you have other cars involved. Listen to Paul Menard talk about the narrow straights at Dover.
It's really narrow on the straightaway, so if something happens, things happen very fast there. The backstretch gets really bottled up. The track gets blocked easily if there's a wreck. Just trying to stay out of trouble.
Another thing we do not want to overlook, Buzz Cutler, a very tricky pit road at Dover.
Yeah, you know, they took some steps to fix that to a certain extent. No longer do two guys have to share a pit stall. They lengthened it a little bit, but there's still a wall there. It's not like you can drift into the grass like you can at other tracks, and you're still transferring from concrete onto asphalt.
And you're transferring from concrete onto asphalt at a very high rate of speed if you're doing this under green, and I think that's where the tricky part comes in, just like what happened to Junior last week at Darlington. If you try to get too much, you're in a high bank concrete racetrack. You come onto an asphalt apron, which has got a lot of dust and tire rubber and all this stuff all over it, and it's easy to lose control of your race car. That could be very, very costly.
And we have seen long green flag runs at Dover recently.
Oh, yeah, you'll probably see one on Sunday. You absolutely will. Now, the other thing about all that rubber is shock package, a big key to getting your car to handle.
Yeah, it is. You'll get tire chatter. You get a lot of buildup on your tires. You get tire chatter. That takes a toll on the drivers physically. This is a very physically demanding racetrack as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, you talk about being able to be aggressive in the gas, having the right shock package, keeping the tires on the racetrack while they're bouncing up and down, while the cars are bouncing. That's very, very important. Now, the guys that have been able to do that and be aggressive in the corners, you have to start with Jimmy Johnson when you talk about drivers. 6 wins at the track, swept it his rookie year, has won 3 of the past 4 races, won the last time we were here. We're bringing back the same tire.
Yeah, and
right?
Over the course of those last 4 races, he's led the most laps in all 4 of them, even the one he lost.
So Jimmy Johnson, your number one favorite, has to be. But you can't overlook Carl Edwards, who's looking for his 2nd win of the season. Back between 06 and 08, Carl was stellar at this track, finishing almost every race in the top 3, winning one of them. Now he's back to that kind of form.
During his last 10 Dover starts, he's put together an average finish of 5.7. During his career, 13 starts at Dover, average finish of 7.7, best among active drivers.
Yeah, Carl Edwards is very good here, should be good on Sunday. And the third top-tier guy, I would say, is Kyle Busch. He's won here twice, won this race last year, and not insignificantly, Buzz Cutler. He won at Bristol earlier this season, and after all, Dover's just Bristol on steroids, right?
You can't have steroids in NASCAR.
Come on.
Just ask Jeremy Mayfield, Bass.
You can't test the racetrack. So I think Kyle Busch is a top-tier contender here if he can stay out of Kevin Harvick's way. Now, what about Tier 2? 3 guys in Tier 2. I submit to you, Buzz Cutler, one man you should not overlook on Sunday is Ryan Newman.
Ryan Newman, this is his favorite racetrack. He told us that personally several years ago.
I think he's got 3 wins here.
Yeah. Now,
so that's pretty darn good.
The other thing about Ryan Newman is he is having a career year.
He's having a great season.
He's already amassed as many top 5s this season as he did all of last season.
Yeah, I like Ryan Newman very much on Sunday as a guy to come out and maybe if one of those favorites doesn't win, to do something special. Greg Biffle, another guy who's won twice at this racetrack. He's not been, as you said earlier, he's not been as racy maybe as his teammates yet, but he's making a climb.
He's making a climb.
Points.
It wouldn't be
2
shocking for him to win here, but I'm not sure if he's a Tier 2 guy, especially when his teammate Matt Kenseth has something like 7 top 5s over the last 10 races at this racetrack.
But the Biff has 2 wins, Matt has 1, but even when the Roush Fenwick cars hadn't been that good, Matt was very consistent here. So I would definitely put Matt Kenseth in Tier 2. Now, what about Tier 3? Maybe the guys that wouldn't be on the top of your list but could still win this race. I like Mark Martin at Dover. He likes Dover, and I like Mark Martin here.
Yeah, Tony Stewart is another guy. He swept this racetrack in the year 2000, long time ago. Hasn't looked like he's had a car to contend for the wins yet this season, but who knows?
You know, Martin Truex Jr. is an interesting guy here. This is his hometown track, the only track at which he's recorded a Sprint Cup Series victory. And he was pretty good at Darlington last week with his new pit crew. Truex has shown some speed this year, doesn't really have the finishes to show for it.
But I think he's a good sleeper pick.
He's a good sleeper pick. And another guy you should not overlook. Jeff Burton was second in both Dover races last year. And he ended a long winning streak here, or a long losing streak here. So I think Jeff Burton's a guy you got to look at because he's had some terrible luck this year, but there has been speed in the 31 car.
The Jeff Burton of 2011 is not the Jeff Burton that finished second at Dover twice in 2010.
There is speed in his race car. He could make some noise.
I think Martin
Sunday.
Truex Jr. is a better sleeper pick than Jeff Burton.
Could be. All right, that has been our race preview for Sunday's FedEx 400 benefiting Autism Speaks from Dover International Speedway, one of the great tracks, a unique racetrack. We've had fun talking about it. We'll be back here on Monday to talk about what happened in the race. Don't forget you can follow us not only on Rowdy.com, but at Rowdy.com's Facebook page, facebook.com/Rowdy Racing. We'll see you next time.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.